For new players to BDO, sometimes it's just hard to figure out what content to start with or how to continue progressing past a certain point. To keep on track, a lot of players keep a plan of action for what game they're going for next. But figuring out that plan of action can be tricky for new players who aren't familiar with the different content in the game. Here's some mistakes I've seen a lot of people make playing BDO, especially as new players, and have even made myself. This advice won't be perfect for everyone, but I hope at least for some of you it'll help you get past something that you're stuck on at the moment. Excluding life skilling, one of the easiest ways to increase your profit in BDO is just by investing in your gear and giving your build a little bit of love. First, it's just important to figure out if your class works better as DR or an evasion build. By settling on a build early and picking the right gear, you're saving yourself a lot of time and silver in the future, otherwise you'll have to repurchase the gear to get the more efficient build. A super easy way to help your gear out is just by doing season. Every season, they've been giving out a free TET equivalent with the Pen Kaposha gear. That's one TET accessory you don't have to worry about later. And now, with the introduction of Narchalin gear, you don't even have to complete the season. Pen Naru is incredibly easy to enhance, even I can do it. And you just exchange that, and already you're almost at the T1 cap. For a lot of new or returning players, you might not be familiar with the Oasis event that BDO started when everyone was stuck in lockdown. Ellie, the Oasis vendor NPC, is located in every major city by the stable keeper. She offers several different items, but you can get a full set of tri-boss equivalent gear from her. To equip this gear, you must be at least level 56, so it doesn't work on underlevel boss alts, but it's a pretty good starting point. Kafris is another big, but not necessarily easy or cheap way to get your build up. Make sure you hold on to any ancient spirit dust that you have because you'll need it for Kafris later. A good goal once you're all TET boss armors and all TET weapons is to put a few level of Kafris into your main hand, your awakened weapon, and then Kafris all your armors up to level 4. The last mistake I've seen people make on their gear progression is not doing their adventure logs. You can easily make more profit by doing the Book of Margahan. It'll give you Agris points that you can use while grinding to pick up extra trash loot. The Bartali, Div, and Morgrim books are all good for improving your overall gear score. By completing your adventure logs, you could even push yourself up a bracket. It's good to get these done as soon as possible so you can benefit from the extra gear score early. Another area where I see a lot of new players making mistakes is grinding. It's a good idea to go and grind where you'll be most effective. You don't want to pick somewhere that's too easy and you're not making any profit, but you don't want to go anywhere too hard where you keep dying and having to pay for new crystals. Yeah, it's good to be profit-minded, but you don't have to stress about min-maxing every little detail of your grind. If you're focusing too much on the details of how you're grinding, you're not going to have fun, and if you grind spots you don't like just because they're profitable, you're not gonna have a good time grinding. Find your balance when grinding between profit and fun, and you'll have a much better time. This is a less common mistake I've seen, but one I've done myself. Some people really limit themselves by only playing one character. By using one character for all your grinding, all your fighting, your life skilling, and world bosses, you're taking a lot of time out from your playtime that you could be doing other things. I personally prefer to use my Sork for most of my grinding, fighting, and life skilling, but I finally realized it's really important to have alts, and now I have alts stashed around for AFK activities and world bosses. If your main is down in Sakraya, at least you can still be productive if you have an alt that can do something AFK. And you're way more likely to go to those world bosses if you only have to switch characters instead of going all the way out to whatever boss it is. Plus, if it's one of the revamped bosses, if you bring your main, you have a very high chance of losing nice crystals. Another argument for having several alts is Imperial delivery and the tagging system. So once you tag a character, you can do no trading, you can't even touch trade goods. And I made this mistake with my Sork and had to roll an entirely new character, and now I have 2 characters with Guru cooking. However, you can pay to win an experience exchange coupon, but it is about $20. By having several characters stashed around the map, you'll probably see your productivity go up. Some of the mistakes that I mentioned are far more common than others. Let me know in the comments if any of you can relate, and stay tuned for my personal experiences making these PvE and gear mistakes. I had a lot of trouble when I first started BDO.